hands together for our next speaker. He is a real estate legend. Give it up for Ricky Carew.
How we doing? Hey, is this not the most incredible conference you've ever been to? Make some noise. Don't you guys feel a little more connected than you normally do at conferences like this between each other? I've picked up so many new connections, picked up so many new nuggets. I called my team today to implement what I've learned at this conference now. And that's how quickly you guys need to implement what you're learning here. And the collaboration is unreal. This community that Ryan built is the most collaborative, forward-thinking, innovative group that I've ever seen. And if you really think about where they could be in the next just year, they're going to crush it in the next year, not to mention 5, 10, 15 years out. This is the future business influencers in the industry. That's why I'm in the Tykes boardroom, which means I have 20 Tykes. The moment he told me about that, the moment I jumped on board for that, because I know the deeper I'm connected to this community, the better off I'm going to be. This is the community that you want to be a part of. Now, I've been in the real estate industry for 21 years now. All right, so, well, thanks, Mom. But today I want to talk to you guys about the market, where I believe the market is right this second, where it's going, how you can prepare to absolutely crush it in 2023. You with me? Now, first, do you see my slide or do you see me? Okay. I want to share with you guys the most important lesson that I've ever learned in my entire career. Real estate closings will happen by the ever-living truckloads every single day of your life, regardless of market conditions. Now, pay attention to the very last part of that. Regardless of market conditions. And so if you go back to .com crash, 9/11, even 2008, the worst real estate market crash that we've ever seen, if you look in your county records, if you look in your MLS, and count the amount of closings that were happening every single day, it will blow your mind. It doesn't matter what the market's doing, and when you look at that, you think, well, 2008 wasn't that bad. No, the market actually wasn't that bad. The problem was we were so over-leveraged against a market that essentially prices went down. The subprime mortgages is what took us down. Not the market itself. Closings never stop. If you look at the pandemic, for the 45-day period that we were shut down economically, no economy, we're shut down in our houses, no human-to-human contact. 80% of the same amount of closings were happening during the 45-day. Banks, title companies, agents, buyers, sellers were figuring out a way to close deals. That's Mother Nature. You can't stop it. That was the most uncertain, scary time that we've seen in the last century. Closings continue to happen by 80%. But you know what's even crazier? 80% of the same amount of pending deals. 80% of the same amount of pending deals went under contract. That meant buyers were making offers, were negotiating deals, and ratifying contracts during one of the scariest times we've ever seen. And so the reason that I'm harping on this, and I want you to understand this, is because my job here today is to help ease the pressure off of you about the market. Your success in this business is not predicated on the market. Sure, you may have failures, you may lose money on a flip, but your long-term success in your career and the success of your career is not predicated on the market itself. You can make it in any market. It's just a matter of understanding how the market works, how you can take advantage of every little piece of the market cycle. Now, how did I realize this? How did I come to terms with this? I got my license in 2002. I'm a real estate agent, investor, coach, you name it, I do it in real estate. But I was 20 years old and the market absolutely exploded. We went through exactly what we just got through going through. Multiple offers on everything, more than full price. And that was the market that I was born into the industry. And so here I am, 20, 21, 22, and before I knew it, I made $1 million. Now, what did I go do? I thought it was a really good idea to go out and start flipping houses. So I go out, I take my $1 million, and I'm flipping houses. And I flipped so many houses, I can't even tell you how many houses I flipped. I have to go back and try to figure that out. But just for the sake of time, when the market crashed, I lost everything I owned. They took my car, they took my house. I was sleeping on friends' couches, slept in a car that my best friend gave me, eating out of people's refrigerators. It was tough. But in 2017, I was working on an oil rig. I went back to roofing houses with my father. I got a job on an oil rig during that time. I left real estate. And the whole time I was thinking, why me? I'm the hardest working, most honest person I know. Why did I fail? So I continued to study the market. And you know what I realized when I was on that oil rig? That my clients that I represented when I was in the game, they were still buying and selling. They were still buying and selling. They were selling bad assets and buying great assets at much cheaper prices. And it all hit me right then. Two things. Number one, closings never stop. And that my success, when I witnessed that, I thought, okay, I can make it through a market crash. My people are still buying stuff. Because when I lost everything, I knew my whole mission at that point was to come back and create a business that would never lose ever again. The second thing I realized is that this is a people business, right? And that if I were to maintain the relationship with those clients, which I did not do first time around, then I would have been able to maintain closings through that market shift. And now my mind started to shift, and my perspective started to change. And now when I'm talking to prospects, I don't care if they want to buy or sell a property or not. I don't care about that part. What I want to know is, what do they want to do and what I can do to help them do it. And when you operate at that level, now you're winning lifelong loyal clients that stick with you forever. And that's when you actually build out a career, not just a deal today, handling objections, talking people into stuff. No, longevity. And the amount of relationships you have and the systems you have in place to maintain those relationships and stay in touch with people will be the definition of how you fare a market shift. Now, when I got back in the real estate, started selling in 2008. Long story short, because I have limited time, I went on to become the #1 RE/MAX agent in the state of Alabama for many years. But the greatest success of my entire life is right here. That's my daughter, 3 years old. She just turned 3. My wife, and we travel. They're here with me today. Not in the room, but they're here in Vegas. And they travel with me. We go to 2 or 3 of these a month, speaking to agents, speaking to investors, trying to help people understand this and what I went through, and try to inspire people to understand that if you can pull a 180 on your business and make it about people instead of transactions, you can build a massive career and become the #1 RE/MAX agent in your market. Now, we live in Gulf Shores, Alabama. If you guys aren't familiar, I wanted to give you guys just a taste, because I know when I say Alabama, you guys probably have like this weird image of where I'm at. But this is where I am right here. And I sell primarily Gulf front condos on the beach, Airbnbs. So if anybody here looking for nice, cheap Airbnbs on the white sandy beaches of Alabama, let me know. I'm happy to help you, because we have some of the cheapest in the country and some of the most beautiful beaches in the country with some of the greatest rents in the country. Now, on April 28th, 2020, I post this video. Why real estate will surge as the economy reopens. Now, do we remember what we were doing April 28th, 2020? We were in our houses. in some of the scariest times. We didn't know if this virus was going to kill everybody, how many of our loved ones it was going to kill, where the economy was going to go, how bad it was going to crash. We didn't know. And when I'm locked up in my house, along with the rest of us, I put out this video that's still there on YouTube. I could see that we were fixing to go on this massive real estate surge. It wasn't hard for me to figure out. What indicators was I looking at? I was looking at the fact that every time I see that transactions are reduced, demand is building. Just like right now. The amount of pent up demand right this second is historical. It's unprecedented. It's the largest amount, in my opinion, that we've ever seen. And we have a reduction of transactions. It's building, guys. It's building. And then when I saw stimulus, that was funny to me. I said, here we go. Did I think it was going to be that crazy and last that long? No, but I knew we were going to have a surge. See, you guys, when you've been around long enough and you can recognize cycles and you can put yourself in better positions, I mean, because you could go out and just not pay attention to cycles and go out there and crush it because you're focused on relationship building, marketing, so on and so forth. But then if you go to the next level and actually pay attention to the cycles and take it to that next level, then you can be in position to be number one in your market. Agent, investor, speaking to everybody. Make some noise if you hear me. So what do I think's happening now? Well, I don't think there's a guru on earth or anyone, even the negative media, that their only objective is to make you click on their article. It's not to help you. But not even the negativity of the media is saying that inflation is going to go up this year or even stay the same. I think we all agree inflation is slowly coming down. I spent $2,200 on airfare to get here, whereas just in October I spent $3,500. Rental cars are half price. I'm going to New York from here, Orlando, all 20 to 30% cheaper on airfare. That's inflation. That's supply and demand. We see inflation coming down in our everyday lives. The data is lagged. And we know interest rates, 30-year fixed mortgages, are connected to inflation, not the Fed rate. So we know, see guys, if you can look at the data and say, okay, this is what we feel very certain about, and you can create a game plan around that, the cool thing is it doesn't matter if that doesn't happen. Why? Because closings continue to happen every day no matter what. So you win either way, but if you can put yourself in a position based on the data to be in the best position if in fact the most certain thing does happen, you're the biggest winner. And so that's what I want you guys to visualize. Putting yourself in the best position possible based on what we feel certain about. We feel certain inflation's coming down. So we feel certain that 30-year fixed are going to come down. 10-year treasury is connected to inflation. Look how correlated that is to the 30-year fixed. All this stuff is correlated to inflation. Everybody says we're going to have a recession, which we are right this second. But look at housing prices through the last 9 recessions. This is one of the most interesting slides today. This is supply and demand. Orange is completions of new construction, and blue is formations. That is families being formed and leaving the nest and going. The blue is not demand of people who want a house, but people who need a house. And the orange is new construction completions. Look at how out of whack we were back in the mid-2000s, and look at where we are now. And if you look at the birth rates in the 80s, you will find that the blue is going to continue to trend upward, not downward. We have so much demand, it's ridiculous. Now let's talk about inventory. Oh, inventory's, going to the moon. Well, it was basically nothing, right? But look at this trend. Yes, it went down, it went up, but look at where it's trending. And we peaked out in August. This is mind-blowing. Every single year, guess what? Inventory goes to the moon, plummets. Goes to the moon, plummets. Goes to the moon, plummets. I'm talking about straight down. It's a straight line down every year. And in 2021, the boom year, look, it went up. The same trend. Nobody wants to talk about that, how inventory went up during that time. It did. It took the normal trend that it takes every year. And so now it went down, and now it's up. Where do you think it's going now? It's going down. This is what we feel certain about. Maybe it doesn't, but we win either way. But I want you guys to be in the best position possible. So, and look at where we are compared to pre-pandemic. So if you have demand and no inventory, and the inventory is about to get worse according to the data and history, where do you think we're going? This is compared to, all the way through the 2000s. We're not even where we were in 1999 with inventory. If you take out the pending deals, 750,000 active listings in a country with 330 million people. That speaks for itself, but again, look at where we were compared to just a couple years ago. Right? And so my question is, where's inventory going to come from? Because builders are down 30, 40%, right? Traditional sellers aren't putting their houses on the market. 65% of mortgages are under 4% right now. 24% are under 3%. They're not selling. Even if they want to, they're not selling. Foreclosures! We're going to see foreclosures, Ricky. It's going to be so crazy. Yeah, okay. We're not even back half of where we were pre-pandemic right this second. And you know why we're not going to have a massive wave of foreclosures? Because on average, we have 58% equity in our houses. In America, 58% equity on average, households in America. So prices, if somebody's in trouble, what are they going to do? Sell it and just take the money. They got equity. That doesn't mean that people aren't that there's not people with 97 and, that put 3% down in the past couple months that are underwater. Sure, that's such a small percentage. We're not going to see the massive wave, ladies and gentlemen. So what do we see happening? Okay, let's paint the picture. Interest rates easing down, pent-up demand brewing. All the buyers are sitting there waiting on interest rates to hit a certain point so that they can all come at one time. Meanwhile, inventory comes down. What do you think that's the perfect storm of? All the buyers coming out at once, mid-year this year, when interest rates hit the point that makes everybody comfortable, and they're all going to be fighting over the same house. I feel certain about that. I don't care if it happens or not. I'm going to go win anyway. That's the attitude you need to have. But let's prepare for this moment, because this looks like this is something that could possibly happen. Then what's going to happen? Inventory is going to drop just like it always does every year. Let's prepare for that. Does this make sense, guys? Make some noise really loud. I want to hear if you really feel this. A little bit louder. Okay. Now, this is my business from 08 to 14, okay? This moment right now, see, Ryan said it Monday. You don't wait till the market is great to go out and try to put the infrastructure in to take advantage of it. When do you do it? Beforehand, which is now. This is what I did. I got back in 2008, and you see my business didn't really grow that much while the market was retracting, but I maintained market share. But then guess what? As the market expanded, my business organically expanded with it. Now, what is market share? Market share is the amount of relationships, write this down, the amount of relationships you have with property owners in your market, period. It's not how many transactions you do, listings you have, all that stuff. I don't care about that. I'll look at it as a piece of the puzzle of your business and a metric, but what I really want to know is how many relationships do you have in place with property owners, and what are you doing to stay in touch with these people so that they continue to love you? That's market share. And as you grow your influence and the market re-expands, which happens 110% of the time, then your business blows up with the market. I didn't do anything different from 2011 to 2014, but the market did, and I was in position because I felt certain about something happening, so I prepared. In 2014, this is straight screenshot out of my MLS from 14 to 2021. I was the #1 agent in the entire MLS. for 8 years in a row. The guy right under me, that's a 20-man team that I crushed. These guys weren't even close to the volume that I was closing. Now, 2014, the first year that I hit 100 deals, that just happened to be the year, March 30th, 2014 was the last time I ever took a drink. I haven't done any drugs. I haven't done nothing. And I was literally on my deathbed. There was one night where I literally thought I was going to die, and I said, you know what, if I wake up tomorrow, I'll never touch anything ever again in my life. And I haven't, and I was the number one agent in my entire MLS for 8 years in a row after that. Now, I'm not saying it's correlated. I'll let you guys be the judge of that. But that is the story. So the market always surges back 110% of the time. And it's going to surge back even crazier this time around. So I want you guys to be in the best position possible. Expanding your influence in the market. This is what you need to be focusing on. Not how many deals you're doing. And through trying to expand your influence, you will close a lot of deals. But let's talk about expanding your influence, which means talking to people. Voice to voice and digital communication. This is old school and new school. Can we bring them together? Can we just not have to do one or the other? Can we bring them together and do both? Because then you're the most dangerous agent and or investor in your market. If you do both, if you do one or the other, but you have to understand that conversation is the key to all closings. Without that, there's not going to be a closing. Use digital to get to the conversation. Make your calls all morning. I don't care who you're calling. Zillow leads, cold calling, sphere of influence, past clients, follow up, Instagram, I don't care. You better call somebody. You're going to end up calling someone. It's either property owners or it's going to be bill collectors later, bankruptcy lawyers, jobs. And speaking of that, it's crazy because real estate agents, I know, how many real estate agents are here? Okay. Like newer agents, 2-3 years in the business, got in with COVID, they're like, Ricky, I got to go to the job. Oh, you're going to go spend 40 hours on somebody else's business? Okay, how many times are you spending now on your real estate business? I'm just, 2 or 3 hours a week. So you're spending 2 or 3 hours a week on your business. You're going to quit that and go spend 40 hours a week on somebody else's business. I was like, just give it 30 days, and spend that 40 hours you're about to spend on somebody else's business on your own business. It's nuts. Make your calls all morning, social media, marketing all afternoon. I'm going to make this real simple for you. Create systems and processes around this. And this right here, this is my big secret right here. Boom. Weekly email to my entire database on the same day of the week forever that I create. I still do it to this day. I've been doing it since 2007, and it's literally the reason why once I got up to where I was making $1 million, I was literally spending 5 to 10 hours a week on my business, closing 100 deals a year as a single agent with one assistant, 5 or 10 hours a week, and I was able to go out and build a brand on social media with the extra time I had on my hands. If you build your business around relationships and you have systems in place to stay in touch with these people, you can go to the moon and actually live that quality of life that Ryan talks about in his book. Because I knock off at 5 o'clock every day and spend all weekend with my family. Efficiencies, systems. I don't have time to get into all of that. So I created ZeroToDiamond.com back in 2017. It's a social media platform and free coaching program for real estate agents and investors worldwide. The entire purpose of the platform is one thing: to reduce failure rate in the industry. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, it's free, because that's the purpose of it. We did a survey. I've had 50,000 agents go through this program. 7 out of 10 say they get more listings, close more deals. 87% have better time management. 75% read more. 98.8% say they enjoy being a real estate agent more. 0.000047 found their significant other on ZTD. Ricky, I got 30 active under contracts and coming soons right now after 12 months of your method, and I met the love of my life through ZTD. Will you marry us? I said, are you kidding me, bro? You guys are engaged? Dead serious, man. I'm not yet, but soon. We met 6 months ago through ZTD. I said, I'll marry you. So you know what I went out and did? Got him. So what's the end game for real estate agents? Buying real estate, ladies and gentlemen. I want to be a coach like you, social media influencer. Yeah, lost a couple $100,000 for 2 years, gave up everything, sacrificed my life. Not very many people can do that. Every single person can invest in real estate and build a portfolio that they can at some point, walk away from their day-to-day business. Everyone can do that. And it's crazy the amount of real estate agents who do not invest in real estate. In 2023, I'm going to be the loudest voice to real estate agents about buying real estate and building their portfolios because they think they want to sell forever. You want to sell forever until you don't want to sell forever. I thought I wanted to sell forever until I didn't. And I wish I would have started much earlier building my portfolio, but my focus this year is to buy $100 million worth of multifamily in the Southeast. So I want to do business with you. If you have deals, if you have off-market deals, on-market deals, if you want to invest with us, hit me on Instagram right here. I answer every single message anyway. Even if you just want to say hi or ask a question, connect with me there on Instagram. But this is my goal for 2023. This is my Instagram and my YouTube. Have over 300,000 followers on these two platforms. I wanted to bring you guys as much value as I could in this short amount of time that I have, so I wanted to share with you the best book I've ever read, The Slight Edge, Jeff Olson. If you haven't read that book, it's an absolute must. And I want to hear about it, if you read it, what you think, because it'll change your life. This was my second book, List to Last, How to Survive Every Real Estate Market Crash. I literally wrote the Bible on everything that I learned through the market crash, everything you need to think about, everything you need to prepare for, to be in the best position possible. Now, I want to give away 30 or 40 signed copies of this today. All you guys have to do is text me at this number. I also want to give you my 2023 business planning session. You can text me here at 251-312-8844. And even if you don't want a book or a planning session, I want to connect with you. So text me and add yourself to my contacts so we can stay in touch. Okay? And I want to leave you guys with the power of 4. So last year, NAR came out with a stat that 8% of real estate agents did 4 deals or more. So 92% of real estate agents who had a license did less than 4 deals. So there's 4. The number 4. When I ask a real estate agent or an investor, how many active deals are you working on? How many active buyers and sellers that might do business with you in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 months? How many of those are you working with? The most common answer is 4. There's 4 again. And when I do a huge presentation, a webinar, a Zoom meeting, and I give everybody a challenge or something to go execute on, and the next week or the next month we get together and I say, okay, guys, tell me about it. How many people actually went out and did this, read this book, made these calls, posted on all this social media, whatever it was? Normally, it's 4 people. No matter how big the audience is, 4 people have actually executed. And that's just after a month. Some of those people are going to drop off after a few months. So my question to you guys is who in this room is going to be the 4 people who take something that you learned here at this event and go execute over the next 10 years? Make some noise. That was weak as, can I say it? That was weak. Make some noise. Hey, it was very nice to meet you guys. It's so good to be connected. I'm wishing you nothing but the best in 2023. Let me know what I can do to help you, please. Much love.
I want. Look. I-35 with the top down, quit to tell a hater they should get like me.